Okay. Hi. So, right now I'm going to be going over chapter 1 because I have AP environmental science because I have a quiz tomorrow. It's 5th day of school. Quiz. But that makes sense because it's an AP class. So, it's on chapters 1 and 2. So this video will be chapter 1, I guess. It is 6:37 p.m. and I have yet to study at all today because I'm a master procrastinator. So I guess what I'm going to start with is some notes that I took during class, because they're easier, they're right here. So, basically, the first thing I have listed here is that political science does have an impact on the environment because of laws and people are like arguing over shit and stuff. And yeah. Then I have the world's growing population is one of the main causes for Earth's problems because as the population grows, the more resources we as a population, as humans need, so we're depleting more and more of them, and also we are using fossil fuels and shit like that. Idiots, we're complete idiots. We could really just be like saving the planet right now, but the world is like, haha, actually, we're going to vote no. So that's so super cool, super fun, super quirky. We're also like a major part of deforestation and extinction of animals, like, and species. Anyways, actually, I was watching a video, like, before I started filming this, I was watching, a 40-minute lecture on APES Chapter 1, and I think they were using an old textbook, because, I didn't remember any of it from when I read the textbook, but, it said that, 99% of the species that have lived on Earth ever, are extinct, but, we still have scientists think that at least 10 million species on Earth. So 10 million is 1%. Isn't that crazy? Like, think of how many there have been in the past. Oh, so cool. Sustainability. I was told that this is like a really big part of APES as a class. And basically, as I word it, it means not using the fuck out of a resource, or as my Mr. whatever my doctor's name is, says, quote unquote, not exhausting a resource. Maybe it should say natural resource. I don't fucking know. So basically, like, sustainability is the ability to keep a resource over time without depleting it. So, humans suck at that. We suck. Pretty trash. Oh no. What's the next thing? Natural capital is a result of solar capital. So most things, like, what is natural capital? Let's look it up. Natural capital. I know solar capital is obviously like the sunlight and shit like that. Natural capital. Okay. Google says natural capital is the world's stocks of natural assets. Oh, okay. So, natural capital is like air, water, soil, and all of those things depend on the sun to have. It's from natural capital. Derival. Oh, so this is what we're depleting, the natural capital. This solar capital we can't deplete because it's literally the sun. Actually, wait, shit, can we? Don't listen to me. Maybe I shouldn't listen to this. Actually, everything I said so far is right except for what I just said about the solar capital. Don't listen to that shit. I'm pretty sure we can, because the sun's dying or whatever, right? Like, it's gonna explode soon. Isn't that terrifying, the thought that, the sun is, could just die one day and we'll all just be in blackness and then eventually we'll all die too, and it'll just be, a matter of time. Child, anyway, so, the next thing I have is, what the hell does that say? Live off. I have terrible handwriting, by the way. Live off habitual without depleting sustainable. I just said that. What the hell? Okay, carrying capacity is how many species an environment can hold, and it's not a fixed value, which means it can basically that was a hot one. I had fish for dinner. Which means that the carrying capacity has the ability to change over time. Ooh, Corona. Just kidding. How do you guys feel about online school? I hate it. Especially because I have to take quizzes and shit on there, and we haven't even gotten our textbooks yet. We're going on. My class is going on Tuesday. It's Sunday today. So we've been using an online textbook, which is pretty trash because it's harder for me to pay attention when it's online because there's so many distractions, Anyway, next thing I have is the J, S, and K curves on a graph. The J curve is the exponential growth part. Exponential growth. How can I explain that? When it grows a shit ton, and it's kind of unrealistic. And the S curve is the logistic growth, which is more realistic. It's the gradual growth over time of a population. And the K line would be the carrying capacity. So once once you have a graph and it hits the top, that's the carrying capacity. So K is usually on the top of the graph. It depends, because sometimes you can exceed it, I guess. I'm assuming you can probably exceed it, right? Somebody tell me. Nobody's watching this, Samantha. I had this one starred. It's called the Rule of 70. Take 70 and divide it by the rate of growth as a percentage, and that is the Rule of 70. So, wait, let me look up the Rule of 70 real fast, just to see, what that is referring to. Wait, what? No, not finance. Population. Oh, doubling time, yeah. Rule of 70 is doubling time. So, which is obviously, idiot, you can obviously know what doubling time is. It's the amount of time it takes to get double the amount. So, number of years double would be equal to 70 divided by the annual growth rate. That's what I just looked up anyway. I should remember that. So Rule of 70 is number of years to double. Okay. What's next? Ecological. What? Anything required by an organism for what the hell? I have no idea what that says. Okay. Economic resource. Anything obtained from environment that is needs or wants. Oh, so it's a combination of needs and wants, and you get it from the economy. I'm really good at this. Renewable versus non-renewable. Okay, I know this part. Renewable are resources, or natural resources, or natural capital, ooh, vocab word, that can be renewed in a time span of days to like 100 years, I'd say, maybe. And non-renewable would be something that takes beyond a human lifespan to renew. And example of, I think an example of renewable resources, holy shit, why did my voice just get so deep? I think an example of renewable resources would be like soil, fertile soil, probably. And non-renewable would be coal, which is a pretty obviously it's like a main example because it's so common, like it's a commonly used example. And coal would be non-renewable because it takes thousands and thousands of years, which is beyond a human lifespan. So to renew, so it's non-renewable, and the coal is depleting so fast because we are using it way faster than it can renew itself. And in the process, we are creating many problems. Oh shit! Okay, I'm just gonna have to hold it. I literally just peed. Something that you'll learn about me if I keep doing these is that I have the bladder the size of a peanut. Ugh, it's the worst. My fish is here. He's staring at me. Anyway, back to this. 3 types of property: private, common, and open access. That's pretty obvious. I mean, private property is like something, and common space would be like a park, or yeah, park. That's a pretty good example. And open access. What is open access? Open access. That means like, maybe like a library or something? What is open access? Is open access property. My mom is in training to be a real estate agent. Oh, well, I think she is actually now. I think she didn't go to school for it. She took a couple classes, I think. Oh, wait, I guess out of school. I mean, like, when she was younger, she didn't go to school for it. But it's just a little fun tidbit. Open access property is not managed by anyone, and access to it is not controlled. So, open access would be something like, oh, what's an example of that? I mean, like, I get what it's saying, but I don't know. Common property? Well, because a park would be common because you keep it up, right? Oh, so like forests. Just forest, okay. that's what it says. Next, so tractate commons goes along with the types of property. I guess that's why my teacher put this in the notes. So basically tractate commons is when everyone is sharing something. Like, for example, if everyone's at a buffet and we're all eating our fair share, it's all equal until one asshole just decides to show up. Oh wait, there's like a fleck over here. So this asshole, we're gonna call him Derek. Okay, Derek shows the fuck up in his okay, no, wait, we're going to take it back. It's no longer Derek. Sorry, Derek. It's going to be Detective J.J. Bittenbinder. Detective J.J. Bittenbinder shows up in a 3-piece suit and a cowboy hat, and a giant handlebar mustache, and I don't remember what else. So he shows up to this buffet, and him and his posse of detectives all take, well, they think that it's fine. Like, they take, everyone is supposed to take, let's say, 1 plate of each meal. So, like, 1 lunch, 1 dinner. Let's just say it's an all-day buffet. 1 breakfast, 1 lunch, 1 dinner, 1 dessert. But Detective J.J. Bittenbinder and his detectives show up, and they're like, well, I guess if we're the only... Oh, actually, no, scrap the detectives. It's only J.J. Bittenbinder. He shows up and he's like, well, I'm only one person. It can't hurt if I num on, let's say, 2 or 3 extra desserts with 1 extra lunch. That's fine because it's only I'm the only one doing that, so there's still gonna be enough for everyone, just a little bit less. But what Detective J.J. Bittenbinder doesn't know is that everyone else in the buffet is thinking the same thing, and so everyone in the buffet is taking like 5 of each meal or 6 or whatever, and they're only supposed to have 1. And eventually everything runs out. So let's look up Tragedy of Commons and see how right that was. The Tragedy of Commons is a situation of shared resource. Okay, shared resource, which would be the buffet, where individual users, which would be the attendees, acting independently according to, and this would be all of them, including J.J. Bittenbinder, they're acting independently according to their own self-interest, behave contrary to the common good of all users by depleting or spoiling the shared resource through their collective action. So, the shared resource is the buffet. J.J. Bittenbinder and everyone else are acting independently on their own accord in their own self-interest of their stomachs because they are hungry for the num-nums. And so, in doing so, they are betraying the common good, which was to the rule of only eating 1 per meal. And this is therefore depleting the amount of buffet items that people can consume. And another example would be if J.J. Bittenbinder showed up and he started, like, trashing the buffet, and, like, everyone else started trashing the buffet. I don't fucking know. What's next? There's one more point on here on my notes, then I'll move on to the textbook. I have to be, point pollution and non-point pollution. So point pollution is when you can trace back the pollution to where it came from. That would be something like a factory or an oil spill or something like that. And non-point is when you can't trace it back to where the pollution started from. So that would be something like if someone used pesticides and it rained and it went into the water and it runoff went down the sewer or something, and I don't know, something like that. And the pesticides just leaked everywhere, all over the rest of the soil and everyone's homes. I think in like 8th grade, or maybe 9th grade, one of my teachers told me about using salt on driveways to melt ice. I don't know where the hell you live, but in the winter we get a lot of ice, or it barely even snows. We get a shit ton of ice. So I know a lot of people who use salt, and it's not good because it'll go somewhere on a fucking note. Okay. Okay. So let's start with the textbook. Oh my gosh, that was a lot. Okay. So, Chapter 1 is called What is an Environmentally Sustainable Society? So, basically what I'm going to be doing is reading the textbook, maybe out loud or maybe in my head. I don't know if I'm going to get copyrighted. My source is, if I do, like, if someone's like, LMAO, let's copyright this bitch. Let me just cite this king. I'm going to be reading from load faster, king, load faster, oh my god, this is so slow, I hate everything, I hate everyone, I want to die, lol, LMAO, let's die, woohoo, hee hee, oh my god, it's so close, let's go, okay, here we go, it's called Living in the Environment by G. Tyler Miller and Scott Spoolman. That is my source. Also, please don't sue me. I don't know, nobody's even going to be watching this anyway, so I probably won't get sued. Okay, so let's start with the first section. Environmental science is a study of connections in nature. Okay. So, the first vocabulary term I see is environment. And when I think of environment, I think of air and sail. But the definition here is the environment is everything around us. It includes all the living and non-living things in which we interact. So basically what it's saying is the environment is how the species, not how, it's the act of the species living together in harmony, and the non-living working together, and how they interact with one another. And it's basically saying, like, the environment is how everything is connected, living or non-living. Or, isn't there a third one? Dead? Probably. I don't fucking know. Despite our, what did I say? And everything else. Okay. Environmental science is the next vocabulary term. And environmental science, without looking at the definition, I would say environmental science is the study of the environment and how species interact with one another and affect one another, and what that can do to the earth itself, and yeah, okay. So the textbook definition is an interdisciplinary study of how humans interact with the environment of living and non-living. Sexy. Things it integrates information and ideas from natural sciences. Okay. So basically the goal of environmental science is to learn about how everything affects us and how we affect everything else, and basically how we work together with the environment and how we hurt the environment. And this is one I did not mention that it says in the textbook: how to deal with environmental problems and live more sustainably. Living sustainably is what I referenced back earlier in my notes, which is not depleting a resource. So living more sustainably means living without hurting. I don't fucking know. Whatever. There are a couple more. Vocab terms here. Ecology. Ecology is oh my god, it's 7 o'clock and I'm dead tired. Why didn't I start studying earlier? God, I hate myself. Okay. Ecology is biological science and the study of organisms and how they interact with each other and their environment. That makes sense. And organisms are living things. And a species is a group of organisms, and they all have traits that set them apart from other species, and they produce fertile offspring, which basically means they have sex, and they have honky donkey, and they have baby, and it means their line of can keep going. Major ecosystems. Okay, the ecosystem is how organisms interact with one another in their environment, and how they interact with the non-living, and energy. Oh, and it's defined in one space. There was this big picture here. Let me look at it real fast. Oh, here is a pic of lol. It's of like water and shit. Whatever. Next, the next vocab term is environmentalism, and let me crack my back. To knock on my scale. Oh my god, I have to pee. I'm tired. I really hope this doesn't end like while I'm in the middle of chapter 1 and this video has to be 2 fucking parts. Ugh. We should not confuse environmentalism is so if environmental science is the study of the environment and how it interacts, then environmentalism is the social aspect, which means like being ethical and motivated politically to help the environment and support life. And here we are on the next subsection. Woo! So this one is sustainability, which is by textbook the quote-unquote the ability of Earth's various natural systems and human cultural systems and economies to survive and adapt to changing environmental conditions. So what I gather from that is sustainability is how the there is a rain somewhere. I don't know what it is. How the Earth's environments, different environments, and the organisms in those environments change over time and adapt to the conditions that they are given. So basically, like, I'm trying to think of a more fun way to say this. Like, sustainability is like, hey yo, you gotta adapt if you wanna ronk. And ronk means live. Anyway. So, let's go to the next page. Oh, there's a dead animal there. Why there's so many, there's so many vocab lists. Okay, wait, let me lay down. I've been sitting in crisscross applesauce for a long time, and I'm going to lay on my stomach. Okay. Natural capital, remember this. And by textbook definition, it is, why is my brightness so high? The natural resources and natural services, that keep us and other forms of life alive and support economies. So basically, it is, on the earth, the different living and non-living, aspects of the world that build up a society. And natural resources are the materials and energy that are included inside of that natural capital. And natural services are I just got an email from Fordham University. No, thank you. Oh, if you're Fordham, if you're watching us, like, for some goddamn reason you decided to watch this, I probably don't want to go to your school. I don't really know anything about it. Like, no, actually, I don't know shit about it, but I probably won't want to go there. Natural services are, natural services, they are the organic, services provided in the world that are just naturally given from Earth. And I think one of these include, like, bees pollinating flowers, or, like, the water cycle, Those are natural things that happen, and they help humans and other grow. And nutrient cycling is the next vocab word we have here. This is one that I don't remember, so pay close attention. According to the textbook, nutrient cycling is circulation of chemicals necessary for life from the environment. Sorry, I'm just thinking about, like, I really want to get into college, so I hope, like, this stupid video doesn't get, like, me sued. I'm so tired. I spent so much time today making a TikTok, about me ranking my favorite My Little Pony songs, and it's over a minute, so, and for some, I thought TikTok made it so that you could have 3-minute videos, but it's being weird, and I edited it all the way just to find out at the end, like, the last 2 songs were cut out, and oh my god, it was the most frustrating thing I've ever seen in my entire life, because it took me, like, an hour to edit that, and I could have spent that studying. Okay, anyway. Nutrient cycling, according to the textbook, is the circulation of chemicals necessary for life from the environment. Now let me actually process that. Circulation of chemicals necessary. And they go through soil and water mostly, through organisms and back to the environment. Okay, so going through water or soil and organisms and cycling through the environment. That is what nutrient cycling is. And here is an example it gives us. It's topsoil. It starts at the upper layer of Earth's crust and provides nutrients. And then when the nutrients die, they decay and they resupply the soil with nutrients. Okay, that makes sense. So this nutrient cycling would be an example of natural services, because it is giving us it's a natural cycle that is giving us support as an economy, in ecosystem, whatever. And another example would be not another example. This is solar capital now, which we already went over. Energy from the sun. So, solar energy is okay, so our lives depend on solar capital, and the natural services also rely on natural capital, because the solar energy is an indirect renewable force. Wait, what I don't get is how solar energy affects winds. Oh, the solar energy is winds. Oh, solar energy is winds are an indirect form of the solar energy. And an example of solar capital would be photosynthesis. Like, the energy goes into the plant and they use it to make food. And next paragraph. To recognize that human activities degrade natural capital. Okay, so sustainability is first recognizing that we have in the past and are still depleting resources from the natural capital, and and this is because we are using renewable resources. Oh, so resources that would usually be renewable are now non-renewable or possibly renewable because we use them so often and faster that they can renew, that they are becoming harder to obtain. And then the third component of sustainability, according to the textbook, environmental science. Oh, so the first one, I guess, would be recognizing that it is happening, and then it would be starting to what would the other one be? Like recognizing, acknowledging, I guess, and then acting on it. So third part is solutions. Skip that part. Okay. So basically, environmental sustainability, we should be basing it like off of experts and scientists, but a lot of politicians are more they are more in charge, which is it's bad because they are making it based on what's best for the economy instead of the environment. I hate that all these fucking words start with E. It's illegal. It's so illegal. It's so illegal. Okay, here's the next subsection. Oh my god, we're not on even section 1, 2. Okay. Environmentally sustainable society. According to the textbook, it is one that meets the current and future basic resources needs of its people in a just and equal amount without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their basic needs. So basically, it would be like, it would be not hurting the environment like dickheads, but also like living ourselves, and just in a fair way. And it also gives the ability for the human race to keep going because it's sustainable. Okay, so the next part. Protect your capital and live off the income it provides. So basically, don't be a dick. Use what you have, no more, no less, and or I guess you can use less. That'd be fine. But no more, or else you will deplete, and then it will be unstable. Natural income is the next vocab word I see, and according to the textbook, it says natural income is the renewable resources such as plants, animals, and soil provided by natural capital. I thought that was natural resources. This one is specifically renewable ones that are natural resources. Okay, so these are, so basically it goes natural capital, natural resources, and natural income is under that. So natural income is renewable natural resources. Yeah. So basically it's preserving Earth and so keeping humans alive while also preserving what the Earth has already created and not overstaying our limits, basically. we're almost on 1-2. We are living unsustainably, obviously, because we're assholes. We're gonna skip that. Okay, so, section 1-2. I am in trouble. I am in trouble. Hello, I am under the water. Our summer work was chapters 1 through 4 though, so I'm glad the quiz isn't on chapters 3 and 4 too. So that's pretty good. Okay, this is almost loaded, and then I will see how many pages we have left in this chapter. Oh shit, I went too far. 32. Okay. Here, and okay. So chapter 1 is up to page 24, and I'm on page 10. So I have 14 pages left, and I've been talking for 40 minutes straight. I think we could do it if we tried. So here is GDP, gross domestic product. That is the next vocab word. And it is the measure percentage of change. GDP is the annual market value of all goods and services produced by all firms and organizations in a country. Okay, that is from the textbook. So economic growth is when the GDP is going up. So the percentage of change in the GDP measures how much an economy has grown in the past in once a year. Per capita GDP is per person. GDP, once again, is the gross domestic product. So that basically means like everything that comes out of that is produced in a year. Let's go on to the next part. Per capita GDP, PPP. So PPP is purchasing power parity. Who the fuck wrote that? What the hell? Okay. Oh, here comes my mom. Oh, I hope she doesn't come in here. It could be funny. She came in and she was like, "Yeah, are you recording? Gross." Holy shit, it's been 42 minutes. Okay. So, per capita GDP PPP is a measure, according to that book, is a measure of the amount of goods and services that a country's average citizen could buy in the United States. Okay, so per capita GDP PPP is, if I am a U.S. citizen, the amount of goods, so the amount of an example would be like if I went to the mall and I bought like 4 yogurts. I don't even like yogurt, and that would be counted in my per capita GDP PPP, and basically that is average for citizens. Okay, so economic development is the next vocab term that we have here. According to the textbook, it has the goal of using economic growth to improve living standards. So economic development is using what we already have and what we are growing with to make the economy better. Which is pretty obvious. Developed countries. Okay, here is where we get into stuff that I'll actually need to know. Developed countries, according to the textbook, okay, we're not getting a exact definition. I would say developed countries are countries that have finished growth. They have reached their peak. Oh, they're like middle-aged, I guess. And it says here 1.2 billion people. So some examples are US, Canada, Japan, Australia, New Zealand, and most of Europe. The textbook says most have a high per capita GDP PPP. Oh, okay. So developing countries would be countries like they're like teenage countries or really old countries, I guess. They're still growing. Sometimes I think some of them are struggling probably. And here it says some examples would be Africa, Asia, and Latin America, but also China, India, Brazil, Turkey, Thailand, and Mexico. So there's two sections of them. Some are middle income, and moderately developed, but others are low income and least developed, and they have really low GDP PPPs. And yeah, let's see what's next. Come back to me screen. Okay, 1.5. Okay, so here's this graph. Developed countries have significantly less population and population growth. It's not significantly less population growth, but still less. And life expectancy is higher, and wealth and income is much, much higher. And their use of resources is also higher, which, as a result, would mean that pollution and waste is also much higher. So developing countries have more population, more population growth, less life expectancy, less wealth and income, less resource use, and less pollution and waste. So, the next thing would be the next vocab word here is environmentally sustainable economic development. According to the textbook, it means this involves using political and economic systems to discourage environmentally harmful and unsustainable forms of economic growth that degrade natural capital and encourage environmentally beneficial. Okay, whatever. So, this is just a combination of like 5 of the other terms we've learned so far. So, environmentally sustainable economic development. That would be like an environment that is sustainable, which means it is able to keep a resource going. It is able to hold its own and not deplete, and it is economic development, which would mean it is growing. It is economic, whatever. Okay, here is 1-3. So 3 more after this, and then we're done chapter 1. I don't think I'll have enough storage to film this whole video. So I think I'm going to end it right there, and I will pick up